الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبيه الأمين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الحمد لله الذي أنزل الفرقان. الحمد لله رب العالمين. We should remember what happened in 17th of Ramadan. 17th of Ramadan, like today, it was the first war between the Prophet ﷺ and the mushrikeen of Quraysh. And it was in a place about 80 to 90 miles from Medina. It's called Battle of Badr. Look. So, in that battle, it wasn't actually preparation to fight. As you know, when the Sahaba al-Kiram, they immigrated from Mecca to Medina, and before that to Abyssinia in Ethiopia. So people of Mecca, they said, those are the rebels. And they left Mecca without money. Everybody left at night time, different direction, until they reached Medina. So they left their homes, their cattle, majority of them, they left even their families. They left their families. They left their houses, horses, their money, their trade. You know, people of Mecca, most of them traders. So the Sahaba al-Kiram from Mecca, when they immigrated to Medina, they did the hijrah, it's called the hijrah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For the sake of Allah. And that became sunnah to any Muslim. To any Muslim. Anywhere in the world. If you cannot practice your religion, you have to do hijrah. If anyone, for example, big businessman, is trained in cars, and then they said to him, "You're not allowed to sell cars anymore. Banned from the government." Will he stay at home and look at the cars? No. He's going to immigrate somewhere else, leave the country, somewhere else so he can trade freely. And that's exactly when we, or Muslims, being forced to leave or to not to practice their deen, they must do hijrah fi sabilillah. أَلَمْ تَكُنْ أَرْضُ اللَّهِ وَاسِعَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran al-Azim, when some people did not practice, and then in the day of judgment, when they be questioned, they said, "Oh, because this dictatorship, or they deprived us from, or they banned us from doing these activities." What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? أَلَمْ تَكُنْ أَرْضُ اللَّهِ وَاسِعَةً. The land is belong to Allah subhanahu. So here in Wales or in Wrexham, it's the land of Allah. In Mecca, the land of Allah. So you're not leaving God to another God. No. You leave from a place you could not practice your deen to a place you can practice your deen. You can practice your deen freely. No one stop you from praying namaz, fajr, or do lecture, whatever. So the Sahaba al-Kiram, they immigrated from Mecca to Medina. They left everything. So the people of Mecca, the kuffar, the disbeliever in Mecca, it's their chance. It's their chance to have a meeting in the Dar al-Nadwa, which is the meeting place in Mecca for only for the tribe leaders. The tribe leaders and the rich people, they meet there in that place. They call it Dar al-Nadwa. And they had a decision, because those rebels, they became kafir of our religion, and they did not worship the idols anymore. Their money, house, trade, horse, shop, everything they own, it will go to us. Can you imagine someone like Hazrat Uthman ibn Affan, radiyallahu ta'ala, Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiyallahu ta'ala, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, radiyallahu ta'ala. Those, they were very rich. In a point, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, radiyallahu ta'ala, and those three, I mentioned the names, they were the 10 Sahaba that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them the title, glad news that you are in Jannah. You are in Jannah. 3 were very, very rich. So when they immigrate from Mecca to Medina, they did it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they left dunya. They left their families. They left their trade. They left their business. Why? Hijrah. Immigrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So people of Mecca, they gather, because so many people, we have to be careful. So many people, Muslims and non-Muslims, when they read the seerah, story of the Rasulullah and Sahaba, what they say, even some Muslims, they write this, and I know their intention was good, but you can't say people will understand themselves. No, there are some people they can't understand. They have no ability. Not everyone like you understand quickly. So what they say in the book, that in the Battle of Badr, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the Sahaba, the trade caravan coming from Syria or Bilad al-Sham to Mecca. So he said, the Prophet said, let go and take it by force. People think that this is gangsters. That's what they think. Some of the writers, they didn't say that this money belonged to the Sahaba. They gathered this money. People of the Kuffar of Quraysh, they took this money all, the money of the Sahaba, and they want to make trade. They sent Abu Sufyan, before he embraced Islam, to Syria, caravan, go and buy materials, buy everything usual to go back to Mecca. So they increase their profits. But this money is not them. So we have to say, we shouldn't say the Prophet, you've heard about the caravan coming from Syria to Mecca, so he commanded the Sahaba to go take it by force. People say, this is gangsters. That's Robin Hood. It's not profit. حاشا لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. حاشا لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Impossible the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم takes something that don't belong to him. But the fact is, we should say, the caravan was full of the Sahaba money. The people of Quraysh, they took it by force. That's what we should say. And then Abu Sufyan, he heard, because before they sent the caravan, before the caravan reach any land, they send some spies, see what's going on there. Any horse riding, any knights here, any gangsters here, to check if the road's safe or not. So they've heard that Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Sahaba, people of Muhammad, they come to take this caravan. So Abu Sufyan sent someone to Mecca, warning them, if you don't come early, Muhammad will take all the money. So they came, people of Quraysh, they said, how many of Muhammad? They say it's roughly 300. So they prepare 1,019 plus minus. And most of them horse ride, with a weapon, with swords. And they were ready for fight, not to go and get the caravan. When the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, announced that he is leaving to get this caravan to the owner, the real owners, the Sahaba. What happened? People of Ansar, majority of people of Medina, they say it's not a fight. And some people from Mecca as well, whom they haven't got money there. So the war is not a war, actually. It's not a war. It's how many people look after the caravan? 10, 15, 20, 25. So he left with 313 Sahaba. Not for fight, no. Just go, hold the reins of the camels and the horses full of their money, trade, and bring it direction to Medina. That's it. No fight. So majority, they left without weapon and no horses. Walking in 17th of Ramadan, like today. 17th of Ramadan, like today. And that was the first battle with the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba with the people of Shirk, Kufr. When they left Mecca, Abu Sufyan changed his direction to the Red Sea, by the Red Sea. Usually they cross very close to Medina. This is the direction. So Abu Sufyan, he was expert. He changed the direction to Red Sea until they reach now Jeddah, and then go to the people to the city of Mecca. It's very, very close from there. So when they heard that Abu Sufyan is safe, now dispute in the army of Kuffar. Those elderly who had their sons and grandsons fighting with the Prophet ﷺ, Sahaba, they don't want the war. Why? Because they're going to fight either my son, I kill him, or he killed me. My grandson, my brother, either I kill him or he killed me. So they said, Alhamdulillah, thanks to God that the caravan is safe. Let us go back to Mecca. But Abu Jahl, you can say he became the leader. And the problem when somebody got Jahl and he became a leader. And the problem is they do not realize that he is ignorant. They didn't realize that that leader is ignorant, even with his money, with his education, with his qualification. It needs experience to see who comes from there. And they know. They know. Ali ibn Abi Talib, Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, Umar ibn Khattab, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Zubayr ibn Awwam. Those are, each one of them, he was an army himself. Army himself. So Abu Jahl said, no, we're going to fight, and then we could even invade Medina of Muhammad. And they met in the place called Badr. Badr is the well. So the Prophet ﷺ, he arrived before them. So he took location, the well in front of them, and when the kuffar coming, the well will be in the middle. So I want you to listen to Rasulullah ﷺ to know how he was leader and prophet and messenger, and at the same time he was listening. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. He was listening to the advice of the Sahaba. He never ever said, no, listen to me, I am going to do it. Like our leaders now, everyone took his country to the hell. And they say, no, we're still fighting. In radio, 1967, oh, we are now in the middle. So we found out that all the army being demolished, finished. So the Prophet ﷺ settled, one from Ansar came to him politely. He said, excuse me, Rasulullah. Yeah. He said, this location you chosen, is it command from Allah or fight plan? Fight plan. Because if it's from Allah, then khalas, I can't say anything. If it's a fight plan from you or from anybody else, I'm going to give my opinion. So the Prophet ﷺ said, no, that is the plan. I planned it. He said, then, listen to the word. Ya Rasulullah, let the well comes with us, not against us. What do you mean? What does he mean? Well, full of water. Yeah. Now they are coming from this direction. Sahaba here, well in the middle. And then when they fight, the well in the middle. So Sahaba can drink, Kuffar can drink. He said, Sahabi from Ansar, he said, no, let the well fight with us. What's the meaning? We should make the well behind us. So they will die from thirst. They will not find the water because all of them, they had a party, wine, drinking all night. When they arrive there in the hot weather, very hot weather, they need water. And when they need water, they can't fight. There's no water. And that's what happened. The Prophet ﷺ said, well done to the Sahabi, well done. And then he said, change your location, the well behind. 313 Sahabi against 1,000 some. 1,020, 19, 17, Allah. But they were 1,000 plus. And 300, that means every Sahabi fight 3 at least. If you look at it from A, B, you say they can't make it. Sahaba can't make it. Why? Not only they were 313, no. Majority, no weapon. So the Prophet said, the only weapon, fight them, take their weapon. That was the only way. Otherwise, they haven't got money. They haven't got money to buy weapon. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now he starts pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, we left Medina not to fight, only to take our caravan, our money. But now we are little, you can see. Allah knows subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said, Ya Allah, if those being killed, who is going to worship? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala got his servant. He can create what the Prophet wants to make it to the Sahaba. Ya Allah, those are the best people on this earth. Those. If they die from the kuffar, what will happen to this earth? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salam. And he said to him, Ya Rasulullah, as-salam, Allah sent salam to you. And he said, he will not let you down. The vision now becomes the other way around. When the kuffar look at the Sahaba, they've seen them thousands. When the Sahaba look at the kuffar, they've seen them few hundred. This is one weapon from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One weapon. And then the place where the Sahaba were, it was lower. The kuffar upper. So nighttime, rain, make the kuffar land lower again and muddy. They cannot, difficult to walk or to fight. So this 17th of Ramadan, which is today, Allah called it Yawm al-Furqan. Furqan is T-junction. T-junction. Either we win forever or we lose forever. That is the Furqan. So the Sahaba that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to listen now to the person who was leading in the front was Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib radiallahu ta'ala. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam start in the Arish is like a tent, small tent. There is masjid now there, it's called Masjid al-Arish. Arish is like a small tent, usually from palm tree leaves. So they built to the Prophet ﷺ small tent. Now in that place there is a masjid called Masjid al-Arish. So he started dua. Who was behind him? Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. Then the Prophet cloak fell down, Abu Bakr handed it and said, Ya Rasulullah, don't worry. Allah will. Who said don't worry? Abu Bakr, why? Because in the cave, you remember in the cave 2 years ago, in the cave, Abu Bakr was worried and the Prophet said, don't worry. Now, Abu Bakr said to Rasulullah, don't worry. Why? Because Abu Bakr seen himself. Abu Bakr, radiallahu ta'ala, he seen himself how Allah worked things, how Allah could save you, how Allah could make you superior, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could make you the winner even if you are a loser. So Abu Bakr, when he seen the Prophet making dua, he said, Ya Rasulullah, don't worry, Allah will not let you down. He said it because he's seen in the cave of Thawr when they immigrated from Mecca to Medina with him and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if you remember, I spoke about this cave. The cave, it wasn't deep. No, it wasn't deep inside, no. The cave, it was a rock, open, and then if anybody enters inside, it's going down. Low, like a hole. There's nothing behind. So, when anybody goes inside, his head will be by the step of the cave. So their shoes or their slippers, it was here, and the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr was here. What did Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said? He said, Wallahi ya Rasulullah, if anyone of them look at his slipper, just slip, you will see us. But Allah run the fight. If Allah protects you, don't worry. If Allah with you, don't worry. The problem is when you fight and Allah not with you. What do you mean Allah with me or I am with Allah? No. Be in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be in the way of Allah. And in that time, when you need Him, you will find Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the ummah of Islam the victory and the nasr, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward the Sahaba al-Kiram and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the best reward when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave lesson to the whole mankind from Badr until the day of judgment that كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله. How many few people fight a lot of people by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair. We have to leave now. The second jama'ah is coming. Barakallahu fikum and see you inshallah tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.